No mai, haere mai. Charities, not-for-profit organisations and incorporated societies make a huge contribution to Aotearoa New Zealand and the lives of New Zealanders. Most of these organisations need to produce annual reports that show how they've managed donations and other funding received and what they've achieved with that money for the year. For incorporated societies, a new Act came into effect in 2023, which requires some incorporated societies to report using XRB accounting standards. These standards ensure that members, funders, donors or volunteers can see that funds are being used in the right way. For registered charities and some incorporated societies, producing these annual reports is also part of maintaining your legal status and receiving the benefits that come with that. The External Reporting Board is responsible for setting the standards for this and other kinds of reporting. We understand that small charities and incorporated societies don't always have access to an accountant to do this kind of reporting. So if you've put your hand up or been nominated to produce this report, don't worry. We've created a free and easy to use template to help. To get started, here's what you'll need to know or have on hand. Your organisation type, such as whether it's an incorporated society or a charitable trust, bank statements for the year, details of any land and buildings, vehicles or investments, and information about any amounts owed to others, such as bank loans. There are 4 parts to this template. The first is where you enter your organisation's name and the type of organisation. The next section is where you add information about what your organisation has done during the year, like providing to people in need, for example, or upgrading club facilities. This is called the Statement of Service Performance. If you're able to put a number against what's been delivered, put the number in the matching row. Include your figures from last year, unless this is your first year reporting. The third section is all about the money, and this is where you include information about cash received and cash paid in the year. To complete this section, you'll need to group transactions from your bank statements into categories based on what the transactions were for. For example, all money received through fundraising activities would be added together and included in the donations category. The template includes a number of categories you can use to group information. For example, under expenses, things like wages, volunteer and fundraising costs would be grouped together. By grouping similar transactions, it's easy to show how your organisation is using its money. The last section is called the Notes section. You only need to provide information here if it applies to your organisation. There are 3 parts to the Notes section. The first part is where you include information about any significant assets your organisation holds, such as land, buildings, vehicles or investments. You only need to enter an amount for the total value of these assets if the information is easily available. For assets like land or buildings, the value of these will be on a recent rates assessment or invoice. The second part of the Notes section requires information about any significant liabilities or amounts owed to external parties. This can include things like bank loans. The third part of the Notes section asks for information about any transactions with close relationships. These are called related party transactions, which is a term used to describe payments made to people that have a close relationship to your organisation, such as board or committee members. And that's it. You have successfully completed your report. So download the template here to get started. If you need any help, talk to the team at Charity Services. They hold one-on-one online clinics every Thursday. Or if you are an incorporated society, you can contact the Service Support Centre at the company's office. With this simple template, you can easily prepare your report and get back to focusing on doing good for your local community and Aotearoa New Zealand. Mā te wā.